Good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody, I should say. We are so grateful that you have joined us for our very first live event of Love Stories Around the Piano. We got Alvin Giles with us tonight, the piano extraordinaire. As you know, he's with us a lot now on Sunday mornings, and I could not be more grateful. I am super excited tonight that our first guest of the very first season is going to be incredible. She's got a story to tell tonight. She speaks Chinese, and she can play 3 different instruments, and she owns her own company that's making changes in our community. But to get us started off, Alvin, good evening.
Good evening. How you doing, sir?
Oh man, if I was any better, I'd be possibly you tonight. Oh, I'm so glad to have you. You got a song ready for me tonight?
Yes, sir.
Let me hear a little bit of that.
I'm so glad your love will stay, 'cause I love you, and you showed me, Jesus, what it really means to love. So love, a word that comes and goes, but few people really know what it means to really love somebody. Oh, love, though the tears may fade away, I'm so glad your love will stay, 'cause I love you, and you showed me, Jesus, what it really means to love. The nights that I cried, you loved me. When I should have died, you loved me. I'll never know why you love me. It's a mystery to me. Now I'm glad to see Jesus. When all hope was gone, you loved me. You gave me a song 'cause you loved me. Now I can go on 'cause you love me. It's a mystery to me. Now I'm glad to see Jesus, what it really means, what it really means, what it really means to love. Patient, patient, kind, kind, that's 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 love. What it really means to love.
Give Alvin a great big a whole bunch of likes and loves on your social media right now. Alvin, I'm so grateful you're here tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And so tonight's guest is all the way in Tampa, is here on Orlando, and she most of the time as well. So I say that she's got a whole lot of dedication to joy. She speaks all these languages. She does all these amazing things. But most of all, that's great about her is her infectious smile tonight. Would you please make welcome our very first guest tonight with us is Miss Jasmine Myers. Jasmine, they're going to bring you on. There you are. Good morning. Good evening. Or good afternoon. I don't know sometimes what day and time it is. There's folks, but I am so grateful to have you here tonight. How's it going?
It's going good, Joel. Remember, I'm still in Florida. I'm not abroad right now. So same
Maybe
time
there's some
as
folks
you.
online that are abroad. I'm just saying good morning to them. Oh my goodness, Jasmine. So I was so intrigued. I asked you to send us 3 fun facts, right? And then all I could do is smile all day. I think I sent them to everybody I know about who you are and what incredible work you're doing. And so I told them all about you speaking Chinese and loving the countries of Asia, and then also about you owning your own business. I'm so interested about that point first. So let's talk about that. You own your own business. Let's talk about what's the name of it and what do you do?
Yeah, it's called the Counterweights. You can't see it, but I have a sign behind me right now. Oh, maybe you could sign.
Is that
Maybe you
there?
can
Okay. All right.
Um,
There you go.
but yeah, it's just about because when I was in China, it just made me realize that so much of the young adult life was about, it's supposed to be a time of like struggle and trial and sadness. I was like, why does young adulthood have to be like that? I like to think of myself as a dreamer, as a visionary. I'm like, why can't young adulthood be a time where our dreams come alive, where we realize our dreams matter and that our dreams are going to be the thing that changes the world? But as you can imagine with young adults, it's like, okay, I have these dreams, but what do I do with them? And so really I created this business in order to provide tips and tools and strategies for how to, develop a vision, how to break through limiting beliefs, how to just start to say, I want to make a positive impact. What do I need to do in order to get there? So I'm really passionate about, because I know I think people dream all their life. But right now I just have a really strong passion for young adults because I am a young adult and I already know some of my friends are like, I just go to work, I just go to sleep. I just go to work, I just go to sleep.
You
I'm
do
like,
that when you're old as well as you're old as me. You go to work, you go to sleep. Go to work, you go to sleep.
exactly. There's just so much more to life. So I'm like, what are you going to do with life? And how can I help inspire you to get there?
So if people want to learn more information about that, how would they get interested in your company and what they do? Where would they go?
I mean, the best way to connect right now is through Facebook or Instagram. You can do it at the.counterweights on Facebook or Instagram.
All right, perfect. We'll get that information out to our people. So this is where the fun part comes in. Alvin's going to be your key player tonight, and so he will. Yes, Alvin, you know Jasmine.
I do.
You put her up to a challenge of something on Sunday.
I challenged her.
What was that challenge?
I challenged her to sing a song in jest, but I was serious at the same time. And she rose to the occasion. It is my understanding that she will be showcasing her abilities tonight. So I'm very excited.
So the fun thing is you told me Sunday she was standing, right up here near us, and you said when you put it out there, don't take it back. Just put it there and walk off.
Yeah, you got to walk off before they have a chance to refuse or complain or anything. You just say, hey, I'll see you next week, and then just walk off.
And it
happened.
happened.
Quick. You got to.
Happened.
Right angles. It's hard for them to follow. There's a lot of right angles when you're walking away. So right angles. She couldn't chase me in the parking lot. Too many right angles.
Well, I'm going to tell you it worked. And so she's going to play one of those instruments she plays tonight, and she's going to sing herself out from there. But Jasmine, we'll let Alvin play under you and give you some good motivation, and then it's all yours tonight. Welcome.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that last. Would you like me to sing first or just tell a little bit
No,
about
go
my
ahead and start
story?
with your story. You want to start that, and then at the end, you can go ahead and sing your song. Let's do it.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'm just really excited to share my story because Joy met me at a really critical time in my life. But in order to kind of understand how I got to that point, I got to rewind a little bit. So I grew up in a Christian household. My dad became the pastor when I was in high school, or actually when I was in middle school. So either way, I've been a PK kid for a good chunk of my life. And so I just remember there always being this pressure to be perfect. Because being the firstborn, I just thought, my dad's the pastor. I gotta look good. And so really thinking through that, and I met Jesus at a young age, realized that he was my Lord and Savior. But at the same time, it was around that same age of 12 or 13 that I started realizing that I'm attracted to girls. That I realized, I'm like, well, this is not what my friends are saying. I feel like something else is happening. So as I went through high school and college, which is a journey of trying to reconcile my faith with my sexuality. And for many years, I was just shoving all those feelings down, which caused a lot of strife in my life and kind of put this haze of, okay, who is God? And so I was part of this college ministry. So after college, I was sent by this college church to go to Asia on mission. And I was on staff of the ministry there. I did that for 4 months back in 2019. And I came back in January 2020 for 6 weeks vacation. As you remember, COVID hit, which is crazy because I was near where it started. So in that time of quarantine, I was just had time to sit around. I said, okay, it's finally time for me to, reconcile my faith with my sexuality, because my faith is a huge part of my life. And so first came to coming out to myself, and then my mom and my sisters, and then I met my now beautiful girlfriend, Laura, and later I came out to my dad, the pastor, so that was a big deal. And I told some other friends, some just throughout life, but really the next big step was telling people in my previous church community. And I started with my closest friend, but there was one particular friend I was really nervous for. There should have been something wrong when I was more nervous to tell her than my dad. So, but I was like, I told her because she was still one of my closest friends. And in the meantime, I was still doing online ministry back in Asia and pouring into people I had made connections with that while I was abroad previously in 2019. But at heart, I knew that if the church leaders had found out that I'm gay, I would be asked to leave. So in later 2020, I started looking for a new faith community. And that is where I met Joy in September 2020. And it was really just from a friend from childhood who doesn't even go to church right now. And she's like, I have a church that you would love. Like, you should go to this. I'm like, you don't even go to church. How do you know about a church in Orlando? And I'm in Tampa. But she's like, trust me, you gotta go. So I looked it up. I saw a Zoom spiritual transformation class. I was like, okay, let me go. And, slowly but surely, I got to know everyone. Got to know Reverend Terry, Reverend Stanley, got to know John, Laura and Malta. I was like, okay, I'm getting to know these people. They seem cool. And it was the first time I was introduced to a community of believers who love Jesus, who love God, and who are also gay. And so really the kicker came because I was in September, and as we go into 2021, it was in February of that year that same friend I was concerned about had told me that I either needed to come out to the church that was financing me as a missionary, or that she would. And that just shook my entire world. So I ended up telling that church that I was on staff with, and then telling the Asian church, and it led to me being stripped of leadership opportunities, or all leadership connections, any funding sources that I had. And since I didn't want to go through their talks, the talks of, okay, let's go through the whole theological reason why this is a sin. Okay, that was already detrimental enough. And so I knew that I just had to walk away. And so that really left me at a low point, because my dream for the past 5 years have been to do God's work in Asia. That's why I studied what I did in college. And suddenly it felt like I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't worthy enough, that, my faith was messed up because of the things that this friend had told me. And it placed such deep doubt in my faith and my relationship with God. And I know I seem fine right now, because that was a couple months ago, but joy was really, truly one of the things that was holding me up in that time. And I remember at the end of those spiritual transformations, I would just be saying my prayer requests, crying, wondering if God even loved me. And I just remembered all the love and encouragement I got in that time. Because at that time, I was wondering if God even cared about me. But in hindsight, I realized that God really showed up for me in that time. He showed up through each member on those spiritual transformation calls. So many people who spoke truth and life and encouragement and hope back into my life, reminding me of God's love, God's calling upon my life, how God doesn't change, and how he's forever faithful. And so over the next few months, God used Joy to show me that I can still serve him, that I can still do ministry, that I'm loved and treasured, that I don't have to, and this is big, that I don't have to be in a place where I'm just tolerated, but I can be among people who truly celebrate what God's doing in my life. And I just think about how much love wins through Joy. Every time I walk through those doors and, of the church, and people are like, hi, Jasmine. Hi. I'm still learning everyone's name, but I really started to get all those names down. It just amazed me that so many people know my name, and that they give me hugs, that they continue to encourage me, and it just makes me feel seen. And that's the best thing I could ask for, that God brought me this spiritual family right when I desperately needed one. And Joy allows me to be my authentic, Jesus-loving, Asian-loving self. And I like something that Reverend Stanley had said, which is, I came out of the closet and I brought Jesus with me. And I'm just so excited to keep getting involved in Joy and spreading the good news that God loves all people. And I just can't stress it enough that. And I'm speaking kind of fast and trying to make sure that I don't tear up, because it's coming, because I just think about all those key people that were there when I really needed believers in my life. And I just think about, again, Reverend Terry and Reverend Stanley and John and Laura, and I think about Becca Marie, and I think about in the church now, I think about you, Joel, and Ryan, and Alvin, and Nitsa, and Sylvia, and Carlos, and Sheila, and I could just go on with the names. I'm telling you, I told you I'm learning everyone's name, and it's just like, I just feel the love so much, and I just see how God took this brokenness, and through his church community, he just made something so beautiful.
Wow, you were the perfect person for the perfect night. And Jasmine, I don't know if I've even really told this story publicly in a lot of years, but I was right where you were. Most people know that I was on staff at a church. That's all I've ever done, sing and be on church staff. And I told my best friend at the time that I was struggling with what this could be. And at that time, it was very much a little bit of that. I will help you through this. I'll be with you. And then just the moment that I quit that band and got a job, because at that time I was still married and we were having a baby, that I would be off the road and I would be there. Just that time, he went to the board of deacons and told them that I was gay and that he had proof. And so then that board of deacons come to me and said, same thing, either you come out, but you resign, or we're going to do it for you. And so I know what that feels like. And all those folks that I was surrounded with for so long, right? It's your story, that I thought would be there for me, didn't show up. And so I'm grateful for your story tonight. I'm grateful that you found us through our spiritual transformation, and a shameless plug that goes on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I'm grateful that you can call folks by name that believe in you here. And so for that, we are so grateful. She's not on camera tonight, but I will say in the room is Reverend Terry, and so she's got to hear everything you said. And her wonderful wife, Kim, is here tonight as well, cheering you on. And so for all of us in this room, I'm going to pray for you. And then I want you to get that guitar, and I want you to sing from your heart. God, I am grateful tonight for our very first story. It's a story about those that can be fully celebrated. It's about what the church, it's less about what the church has done to me, but it's so much more about what the church is doing for me now. So I'm grateful for Metropolitan Community Churches all across the world. I'm grateful for this internet that we're on tonight so that Jasmine could find joy, literally, in the midst of a lot of confusion. So tonight, I pray for Jasmine. I pray that, God, you are working in and through her, and that she can feel you, that she can hear your voice tonight as she lays down that says, well done, my good and faithful servant. And many names we could pray tonight. You are known in so many ways. Tonight I choose to call you my Jesus. It's in your name I pray. Amen. Jasmine, are you ready to play and sing? I believe you picked Chris Tomlin's song, right?
Jeremy Camp.
Jeremy Camp, one of my favorites, is called Overcome. Is that right? Is it Overcome you're singing?
Yeah, Overcome.
Overcome by Jeremy Camp. Take it away.
Whew. Jesus' work. Seated above, enthroned in the Father's love, destined to die, poured out for all mankind. God's only Son, perfect and spotless one. He never sinned, suffered as if he did. All authority, every victory is yours. All authority, every victory is yours. Savior, worthy of honor and glory, worthy of all of our praise. You overcame. Jesus, awesome in power forever, awesome and great is your name. You overcame. Power in hand, speaking the Father's plan. You're sending us out, lighting this broken land. All authority, every victory is yours. Savior, worthy of honor and glory, worthy of all of our praise. You overcame. Jesus, awesome in power forever, awesome and great is your name. You overcame. We will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Everyone overcome. We will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Everyone overcome. We will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Everyone overcome. Savior, worthy of honor and glory, worthy of all of our praise. great is your name. You overcame. You overcame. You overcame. You overcame. You overcame.
Wow, give on a hand clap of praise. Alvin, she did okay.
I was right. I
You-
mean, I'm kind of.
You're often not wrong, right?
It's just, it's a blessing.
Have you had a good time tonight this
I
first?
did, I did.
I think Jasmine did an incredible job. The only
Amazing.
question I have for Jasmine is when's she going to join our praise team?
I think that is a fair question. Now, remember, don't give her time to complain.
Oh,
you gotta say
just
it,
say
then-
okay.
Say it, and yeah.
That's what you say. Okay, Alvin, I'm gonna take the advice. I tell you, I cannot wait that you now have joined our praise team, and
Yes,
so
yes.
be glad we joined. We meet
That's
here
it.
on Sunday mornings at 8:30. We ask you not to be late, but we'll have you here at 8:30, and you'll be able to be here. And so we are grateful for that. Jasmine, thank you tonight. Thank you for being that. Y'all show her some love and put some hearts and some that. Everybody in this room, for the 5 of us here, would you clap and make her welcome tonight? Alvin, lead us out with a song. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Not going back, I'm moving ahead. I'm here to declare to you, my past is over in you. All things are made new. Surrendered my life to Christ.